Howdy and shalom. In the last half hour, I finished all my tea, and I didn't make any more before we started, and that's disappointing. So, yeah, how you guys feeling? We've got one viewer. Who have we got with us? Howdy and shalom.
Now we have
Jonathan,
0.
how are you doing? Jonathan, how are you doing?
Okay. I think I got food poisoning.
Ew. How's class?
Well, I missed 2 of them because of the food poisoning. But I got my Hebrew poetry class.
Yeah.
And if you can hear cars, I'm sorry. Could you hear cars?
We can hear cars, yes.
Okay, well, I will mute myself when I am not talking.
Because you've got the window open to cool off?
Yes, and it's not really helping that much. Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Well, we are starting Weingreen exercise 10. What was that? You're muted. We're starting Weingreen exercise 10 today. Working through Weingreen, we're moving right along. Like I said on Facebook, exercise 16 is where they start the Vav consecutive. So we're going to be really making leaps and bounds once you get to unit 16. So that's exciting. So here we are in exercise 10. Let me pull it up on the screen. Weingreen's a practical grammar for classical Hebrew. Exercise 10. We're doing the Hebrew to English in this session, and immediately afterwards we'll be doing the English to Hebrew. Who have we got? We got a comment over there from Adele. Woohoo! Yeah, he's a professional student. He's locked away in studies for the rest of his life. Right, Jonathan? Unmute your mic. Can't unmute your guests because they chose to mute themselves. That's disappointing. I can't unmute you.
There. No, I'm only going to be a professional student for another 4 years or so.
Colton is back and Adele is back. These guys were both with me in the last session before you came. They I'm going
to remove
agreed to jump on.
My computer is overheating. I need to see what is wrong.
Uh-oh.
Be right back.
No fires. All right, so I guess we'll start. I guess I'll start since I'm here. So, number 1 says, Kol kore bamidbar. Kol kore bamidbar. We know that this is from Isaiah, quoted in the New Testament, put into the mouth of John the Baptist, or the description of John the Baptist. A voice crying or calling out in the desert, in the wilderness. The kore here is a participle in the kal participle. Kol kore bamidbar, a voice calling out or crying out in the wilderness, in the desert. Jonathan, is your computer surviving?
I think so.
All right. Do you have the document open?
I just did.
Hi, Muriel. Welcome. Shalom.
Ha Elohim Yoshev Bashamayim Umoshel Bivnei Adam. So God dwells Yoshev in the heavens, and Mashal is what's the verb?
Control, to govern. To govern,
yeah, that's right. So you could do. It's referring back to God and governs the Israelites. So I'll take that as present tense because he's still dwelling in the heavens. He's dwelling in the heavens.
All right.
God dwells.
Yes. There is this. Obviously, this is supposed to call to mind a certain verse. Psalm chapter 2, I believe. So this one says, Yoshev Bashamayim Yitzchak. Says, the one who sits in heaven laughs. Adonai Yil'ag Lamo. So this is God laughing at people saying that they would break off his bond. The one who sits in the heaven. Yoshev Bashamayim. And here it says, Elohim Yoshev Bashamayim. Yoshev here is basically as a verb, but in Psalm chapter 2, it's used substantive, meaning the one who sits. But it's exactly the same form. Yoshev Bashamayim umoshel bivnei adam. Good. Wow. All right. Number 3. Anachnu korim el Adonai v'hu shomea et kolenu. V'hu shomea et kolenu. We call out, we cry out to God, and He Himself hears our voice. Kol, voice, koli, my voice, kolo, his voice, kola, her voice, kolenu, our voice, kolcha, your voice, right? Good. We call to Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, and he hears our voice. All right. Umafia. Arba.
Sorry. All right. So we've got Tzadik ata Adonai, hanoten lechem lechol basar. So Tzadik ata, holy are you, O Adonai. Take that as a vocative. The one who gives bread to all flesh.
This also is taken from a psalm. Psalm 136:25. Noten lechem lechol basar.
Not holy, righteous.
Righteous. This is Psalm 136:25. Noten lechem lechol basar ki le'olam chasdo. This passage goes ki le'olam chasdo at the end of every verse. And this one it says, the one who gives bread to all flesh, for his faithfulness is forever, or his love is forever. Yeah. When you're working in Weingreen, it pays to think through like where the verse came from. So we tend to hear noten lechem lechol basar, and we say this in Judaism. We say this as part of the Milkat Hamazon, the blessing you say after you eat. Number 5, Hayom hazeh anochi lokech otcha hashamayma. That's a very odd sentence. A very odd sentence. But Hayom hazeh is this day. Oops. This day. Me English.
Get that Greek out of here. No Greek.
I am taking you, anochi lokech otcha, I am taking you to heaven. It's not a normal sentence in Hebrew. You won't see that anywhere. I'm taking you to heaven. Very odd. There's no verse that represents, right? Today I am taking you to heaven. Notice that the verb lokeach or lakachat, to take, in the Bible means both take and receive. The way you say receive today is lekabel. I think it was an ancient Hebrew word, but it fell out of use during the time of the Bible and picked up use again later on. But it's also used in Aramaic, lekabel, to receive. Right, Jonathan?
Right. Yes. Am I unmuted?
Okay. Yes. No, you're fine.
Okay. So this is a little strange, this next one, in my ears. Bnei Yisrael, so the Israelites, Yatsa'u went out. Mim Mitzrayim, we have the mem on the front with the assimilated noon in the second mem. From Egypt. Now this is the weird. Hamid Bara. Hamid Bara. I would expect this to not have the article on it.
Why?
Don't we usually
Midbara would be to a wilderness.
Right.
Hamidbara
Okay.
to the wilderness. The difference, I think it's because you're thinking that normally we see outsa.
Right.
To the
and
ground outside.
Baita.
No, you say habaita.
Oh, you do
Habaita.
say baita. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Habaita.
to the wilderness, or towards the wilderness, I guess, would be more literal, with the locative hay on the end, or the directional hay.
Yep. Hamidbara, Ha'ir, the city, Ha'ira, to the city, Ha'aretz, Ha'arza. We don't normally say Ha'arza because it used to be joined with another word, like Arza Mitzrayim, to the land of Egypt. Arza Kna'an, to the land of Canaan. So you אתה נופל על פניך ארצה. You fall on your face to the ground. But there's no reason why you couldn't say ha'arza, like hamidbara. I like to play with this, because it's funny you say habaita. In modern Hebrew you say habaita, just like in the Bible, to home. So why can't you say hadirata, to the apartment? Because the word modern Hebrew for apartment is dira. So I laugh and I tell people, Ani olech hadirata. I'm going to the apartment. But that's not standard usage. You could also say hamisrada, to the office. Where are you going? Ani olech hamisrada. I'm going to the office. Nobody will say that, but it's funny. Okay. Number 7. Ata shomer את דרך הצדיק ודרך הרשע שאולה. So you, this is probably talking about God, keep or protect the way of the righteous, means the righteous person. And I'm going to take ve here, but, because it's oppositional. You do this, but this is the other thing. But the way of the wicked, I'm going to say, leads to Sheol. Sheol, wow, we could get into a conversation about what Sheol is. Ancient peoples believed in a shadowy place after death, the common grave, or a place where the souls went. And it was generally dark, generally shadowy, generally not well defined. And basically saying that wicked people eventually go to Sheol. But honestly, according to the ancient way of thinking, righteous people also went to Sheol. Sheol was everywhere. Everyone went. So the Greeks believed in Hades, Hades, as the underworld, and Jews had Sheol. Sheolah, the is the directive hay, the directional hay, locative hay. I don't know what you call it. I hate these words.
All of those things.
I hate these words. Why do we use all these grammar words?
Yeah, because people like to be precise. People also like to coin their own terms, like aerial perfect and aerial.
Well, people study Greek and then they give like 30 classifications to how the genitive is used. Oh my goodness! And each one has a magical name.
All right, let me do this next one because my dinner is coming and I need to go downstairs and pick it up.
Yay!
tacos, Mexican for dinner.
Nice.
So Yaakov yarad Mitzrayma, ki lo haya lechem b'chol eretz Canaan. So Jacob, Jason, can you tell that my reading's gotten better? Jacob went down to Egypt, or if you want Egypt word, just to if you wanted to distinguish from El Mitzrayim, you could, but there was not.
Because.
Oh, yeah. Because, of course.
Oh, you delete the whole line for just one word?
Yes, because I'm on a laptop with no mouse. No regular mouse. And look what happens. Because lo haya lechem, there was no food, or there was not food.
Bread,
yeah. In all of the land, or any of the land of Canaan.
Why any? That feels weird.
Yeah. Well, it's
any of the land.
It feels weird to say all as well, doesn't it?
No food in all the land.
There was no food in all of the land. It would have to be
normal.
any in English. We would say any.
There was no food in the whole land.
In the whole land. That's right. That would work.
Know. I wonder what superfluous genitive means. Wow, Colton, if you could explain that.
I've never heard of that.
Superfluous genitive is my favorite use of the genitive. I have no idea what superfluous means.
I need to go.
I mean, I know superfluous, but... All right, get your food.
Get my food, so I shall remove myself from the stage temporarily. So you might have to take the next two.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Go get food. Jacob went down to Egypt. That's nice. All right. So, obviously, a big part of the teaching from this section is this locative hey, or directional hey. I know, right, Colton? Like, he deleted the whole sentence just for one word to change but to become. Anyway, that's one of the major points in this section is the directional hey. Mitzrayma, like Mitzrayim, Egypt, Mitzrayma, to Egypt. Shamayim, sky, Hashamayma, to the sky. So what is this? This is a holdover of the accusative case. Accusative. That's not what I want to type. Accusative case. In old languages like Latin and Greek and Hebrew and Arabic and all of these old languages, there was a case system. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative, whatever. There were different cases in different languages. The Semitic cases, as we find in Ugaritic and in Arabic, had three. The Semitic languages had three cases. They had accusative, genitive, which is like a genitive dative, and nominative. Nominative is the case used for the subject. Okay. Yeah, that's true. So nominative was a case for the subject. It generally ended in the U vowel. The genitive would end in the E vowel, and the accusative would end in the A vowel. We find these still in Ugaritic in the text that they deciphered Ugaritic, and that's what they found. It's the same in Arabic. Arabic U E A. These are the three cases still in the Quran. It has U E A. What's the point of this? Sometimes you see the word like Melchizedek. Melchizedek. The E vowel is a holdover from the cases. Right? It's not necessarily mine. It's not necessarily Malki, my king. It's just Malk, the case ending. The case endings were kind of different in Proto-Semitic than what we see in Greek, for example. So we see. Wow, it's hard to map all this out because the case endings barely exist in biblical Hebrew. Colton, no, because it's a verb. Takal is a verb. So does it really? Case endings go on nouns, not on verbs. Nouns and adjectives. Because adjectives in Semitic language are considered a classification of nouns. So they often have the same patterns and follow the same rules. This holdover, this a vowel, as a direction, is the most important holdover of the case system in Hebrew. If you study Latin, and you know, so eo means I go. Eo. If you want to say I go to Rome, you say Romum eo. Romum eo. The is the accusative. Romum. Romum eo, I go to Rome. Romum it, he goes to Rome. If you say I am in Rome, then you use the locative, which is the dative in Latin. Romosum. I am in Rome. Romosum. No, Roma is feminine. Sorry. Romaisum. So not Romam, not Romum, but Romam. I go to. Romam eo. I go to Rome. And Romaisum. I am in Rome. The point is that in Hebrew, this accusative is used for directions, and it stayed over in the language. Wonderful, brilliant. It's the only real holdover of the case system. And so it's a fun aspect of the language that we get to enjoy. So number 9, Hayom hazeh atem kortim brit im Adonai. Hayom hazeh is this day, meaning today, this day. You, this is emphatic. Well, not necessarily with the participle. Atem kortim, you are cutting a covenant with God, with the Lord. Should be easy enough, clear enough. The making of a covenant uses the word karat, cut, lichot, to cut, because I think that at least if you remember the story of Abraham's dream where he made a covenant with God, he cut the animals in half and walked between them. They say that there was some aspect of cutting animals in half, splitting them in half, and that was related to making a covenant. And so you cut a covenant in Hebrew, lichot. The karet, I don't know if you know it, karet is the piel. It means somebody's cut off. You cut them off from the people. It's like an intensive like lishbor and lishaber, like we talked about before. Okay, number 10. Hine ata sholeach malachim el melech Mitzrayim, velo yada'ata ki ve'elohim Yeshuat Yisrael. Behold, or lo, right? Yes, Genesis 15. That's exactly right. The thing about Abraham making that covenant with God. Jonathan, I can see you're there, so you should enjoy this comment from Colton. Every week I can always count on Jason calling Jonathan out for deleting too much.
That is true. That is true.
So behold, you are sending messengers. Now messengers, malachim is the word for messengers, in the same way that in Greek they have angeloi, that we say means messengers or angels. So you need to wrestle with this in Hebrew also when you read a text. Is it talking about human envoys, human messengers, Or is it talking about divine messengers? Because if it's divine messengers, then we would translate that as angels. But if it's human messengers, it just means, people that you're sending to speak on your behalf. You're sending messengers to the king of Egypt, and you did not know, or you don't know. We'll say you don't know, because remember these sense verbs often will be past tense even though they're really present. You don't know that the deliverance of Israel, Yeshuat Israel, is in God. All right. There's a distinction in Aramaic that I don't know. Jonathan, let's take you off stage while you're standing up. There's a distinction in Aramaic. Well, I don't know what the Aramaic word for angel is, honestly. I never got to that. I don't know that I saw that I was dealing with Aramaic in the book of Daniel, and I don't remember seeing the word angel, so I don't know. Do I have a way to find that out? Logos, fifth, the halot or halot, whatever. Second volume is Aramaic, so let's see. Halot. We'll look in the volume 5. Volume 5 Aramaic. Go to the top and search for angel. See what we can find. This is Bar Elaha, Bar Elahim, Malach. There's Malach. Okay. Angel or messenger from God. Okay, so let's see what the word is just for messenger. Messenger. Envoy or messenger, Malach. That's the only word that it has for messenger. I don't know. Word for angel is cognate to malach, and there's a separate word for human messenger. Huh. Let's see if they have envoy. Not this one.
All right, here we go.
All I see. Jonathan, are you aware of a separate word in Aramaic for a human messenger as opposed to a divine messenger?
I am not.
I'm
But
not
I
sure
know
where
it
to look it up
exists.
apart from that.
It might be the same word.
Yeah. I don't know. My Aramaic is limited because I made it about halfway through Greenspan one time and another time through the Zondervan basics of biblical Aramaic, but I've never really gotten through it. I'd love to study Aramaic if somebody wants to spend time, but when I read the sentences, I want to read them fluently. So, all right, Jonathan, you want to take over number 11?
Sure.
Look, oy lahem ha'ochlim. Ochlim, that's you. The ones who are eating.
Yes. What's oi? Is that an exclamation?
Woe to you. Woe to
Yeah,
them.
that's right. I thought that was hoy, but I guess it's both.
Why do you think we say oy vavoy?
Oy vey. Yeah.
Oy vey, oy vavoy.
Woe to y'all.
Them.
To them. Yeah, that's right. The ones who eat flesh.
Meat.
Eat all the days or every day, right?
Not every day. Kol yom would be every day. Kol hayom is all day. All the day.
Et devar Adonai lo asu. And do not do the word of Yahweh or Adonai.
So for consistency's sake, we're making it small. All right.
Well, hey,
Good.
I put it in caps before you put it in lowercase. Just be it known.
In this one? Oh, you
The
did.
first
Look
one
at
we
you.
did.
Ugly.
See?
So ha'uchlim. This is what you like to say. Your relative hay.
Yep.
Relative hay. Oy lahem ha'uchlim basar kol hayom. Woe to you who eat flesh
Yep.
or eat meat all day, and have not done the word of the Lord. The ones eating. What's that? Idgata. I can barely see that. It's very tiny. And I'm afraid that when I put it up there, it's going to not come through. Izgada. Cool. I don't know that word. Izgada. All right, number 12. Ko amar Adonai. Ko amar Adonai. This is what God had said. Or thus said the Lord.
No. Not in prophetic speech.
Yeah. God has said it, and I'm declaring it.
Yeah, but it's within direct speech. But yeah, okay, you can do that.
I don't know what that means. I am sending you, probably Isaiah, probably Jonah, probably anybody. I'm sending you to or unto the wicked people this. I'm sending you to this wicked people. Thus said Yudhevanthe, I'm sending you to this wicked people. Anochi sholeach otcha. Anochi sholeach otcha. El ha'am harasha hazeh. I'm used to saying ha'ir harasha'a hazot. This wicked city.
So, Bani Havaim halachu bamidbar kol hayom uva'erev ba'u ha'ira. So the sons of the prophets are probably just like the prophets themselves, the members of the prophetic group. But we could do it literally. Sons of the prophets went Bamidbar in walked in the wilderness would work better.
Why would you choose walked?
Because you have the definite article and the preposition.
Yeah, and also because it's all day. You wouldn't say they went all day, but they walked all day. Yeah.
Yeah. In the wilderness all day, and in the evening they came to the city.
All right. Number 14. The room is starting to heat up with the heater back there and it's affecting my breathing even worse. Ugh. Tov latzadik ashomer et Torat Adonai. Va'oy larasha haholech b'derech Elohim acherim. Okay. So when you say tov le somebody, you mean they do well or it goes well for them. So let's render it that way. It goes well. It is good for the righteous person. For the righteous person who keeps the law of God. But woe to the wicked person, the wicked man, who goes in the way of other gods. To go in the way of them means to follow them, right? He worships or follows other gods. All right. 15.
All right. U'achalamo ra'a Yaakov v'hine malchei Elohim yordim min hashamayim. So
Is this messengers?
Yes.
Is it messengers or is it angels?
I've always learned that there was no such thing as angels in the Old Testament.
Well,
I
that's
heard
silly.
I heard that was a Greek invention.
So these are what? What are they?
Human
Malach
warriors.
Elohim going down from the sky. There's a people?
Yep. Well,
No.
I mean, Weingreen probably means angels.
We just had the story in Joshua where the chief of the army of the Lord had his sword drawn.
Yeah, they're
And we're supposed
warriors.
to
But
think
they're
it's a
not.
human?
They're warriors, but they're not like winged creatures flying around playing harps.
Well, there were certainly divine beings.
Oh
And
yeah,
we call them
absolutely.
angels. We call them angels. So these are angels. We say they're angels because they're messengers of God.
Right. But when we think of angels in the Western sense, we think of ladies flying around and blessing people.
Well.
So in his dream, Jacob saw Yaakov. I already read it, right? Yeah. Jacob saw, or Jacob looked, or saw, and behold, or hey, something like that. Malche, the angels of Adonai were.
There's no Adonai.
Huh?
No Adonai.
Oh, the angels of God were coming down from the heavens.
All right. So this is in Bethel, right, where he had a vision of a ladder, sulam, and angels going up and down the ladder. He called it the house of God, Beit El. Number 16. Anochi bocher b'cha. Anochi bocher b'cha ki tov ata be'inai. No, be'inei Adonai. That's a mistake. Be'inei Adonai. I am choosing you. The bocher takes its object after the bet preposition. Normally. Ani bocher b'cha because you are good. Kitov ata in the eyes of the Lord. All right. Wonderful.
Okay. Bnei Yisrael asu el hara, or et hara'ah b'enei Adonai ki lo hivdilu ben hatzadik uven harasha. So the Israelites did evil in the eyes of Adonai, for lo hivdilu, they did not distinguish between the righteous way, I guess, and the wicked.
The way is feminine. This is the righteous person.
Righteous people. Yeah, so we don't need it. I forgot way was feminine. Cool.
Colton has said, according to Joshua, that is the word, what's it? Izgada is related to the word sagad in the Masorah, meaning runner. Interesting. We basically, the word lisgod as a verb means to worship. Lisgod. It's related to the Arabic word for a mosque, which is masjid, or masjid, something like that. But we say lisgod. And I think that's also in Aramaic. It's in the book of Daniel. It is, where it says that. Here, let me.
My goodness.
No. We want to go to Bible Gateway. Daniel chapter 9, chapter 7. 11 uses the word worship here. Let's see. I believe it's here. Every language worshipped him. Is it in another place? Worship and obey him. 26, 27. So let's change the language here to the Hebrew Bible. Where is 11? WLC, the Westminster Leningrad Codex. 27. No. Huh. What was the other one? Verse 27, and the other one, verse 14. Try to chase rabbit trails or whatever. Yeah. This is the word that they use for worship, yiflechun. I was convinced that Lisgod was in Aramaic in the book of Daniel, but it might not be. Sorry about that. All right, 18. Have you heard the word Lisgod? Let's see if it's in Aramaic real quick with the logos, because why not? Done. Lisgod. To pay homage to, which means to worship, right? Pay homage to God. Where do they have it? Daniel chapter 3, 7, verses 10 to 12. No, that's chapter 3, verse 5 to 7. I don't get how they're numbering these things here. That must be chapter 7, verse 10. Nope, it's chapter 3. That's weird. Anyway, it says it's used in parallel with the word that we've had that we saw a second ago, yiflechun, and it means the same, to worship. I'm going to mute you because you're making lots of noise with your food. Great. So lisgod is both in Aramaic and in Hebrew. We use it today to worship. Kol basar yodea, and thanks for your comments, Colton. It's really useful. כל בשר יודע, כי אתה אדוני הזוכר את עמו ישראל. So all flesh in this case means all humanity. All flesh means all people. Knows, but all flesh knows, all people know that you are Adonai, who remembers, zocher, you remember, the one who remembers, let's say the one who remembers your people, Israel. And that's in a positive position. Nice word, all these grammar words. So we'll separate it off with a comma. All right, Jonathan, join us again. And take number 19.
All right. So, Balayla hahu shamaha na'ar v'hine kol korei Shmuel. So, oh shoot. I dropped onions on my keyboard.
All right.
So anyway, that night, well...
Are you eating from Taco Bell?
No, I'm not.
Oh, what I wouldn't give for a Taco Bell in Israel.
I hate Taco Bell.
I love Taco Bell. I miss it.
I go for the authentic Mexican food, not the fatty, greasy Tex-Mex knockoff. So,
I love the bean burrito from Taco Bell. My favorite thing in the world.
You don't have any Taco Bells in Mexico, in Israel?
No.
Okay. So that night, Shamaha Na'ar. Now we have inversion here, don't we? Shamaha Na'ar.
Because?
Well, Cook would say it's because it's part of a prepositional clause. So since it has on that night, then it would invert.
So we would say that the temporal clause takes up the first position,
Right.
which knocks the subject back behind the verb.
So Balayla Hahu, that night, the lad heard or listened, probably, maybe,
Right.
and behold, the voice of God.
Wow, you're adding a lot. It doesn't say the voice and it doesn't say God.
Oh, a voice. Yeah.
A voice. Mm.
Was calling out, I guess, Samuel.
Yes. Samuel. Here am I.
Hineni.
Hineni. Verse 20. Hayom hazeh אנחנו עומדים על הר האלוהים ושומעים את קול אדוני יוצא משמיים. That sounds weird, משמיים. Min hashamayim or me hashamayim. All right. This day, today, we stand upon the mount of God and hear the voice of Yud-Hey Vav-Hey coming out from heaven. It feels weird to say Mi Shamayim instead of Me Hashamayim. Like I don't know why it feels that should be definite. The heavens. But that's how he has it in the book, so that's how we'll take it. Number 21. Let's add the accent because we want to be complete.
Okay, so Ele hadvarim asher diber Moshe el bnei Yisrael b'midbar Sinai. So these are the word. I'm going to do words here since he's speaking them, which Moses spoke. Why is it inverted? Verb subject, because you have the asher before it. Moses spoke to the Israelites in the wilderness of Sinai.
Vistas?
Midbar Sinai.
Yes. Why does Sinai have kamatz instead of patach?
Can somebody else answer that question? Do we have... Oh, we have more people for the Weingreen exercise than we did for the reading.
Yay. Well, Sinai has patach normally, right?
Yes, so why is it that way? Any commenter? I feel like playing the Jeopardy theme music. It's in pause.
Starts with a P.
It's in
Pause. Pause. Because normally that would be Sinai with patach. But there we go. Okay, verse 22. Ha'adam haya kelohim yodea tov vara. The man, or Adam, right? The man was like God. Or like a divine being, I don't know. Knowing good and good and evil. Why is the Vav pointed with kamatz instead of shiva?
This should be ingrained in the brains by now.
Tov vara.
I like how he uses that device in his grammar. I don't think anybody else has done that I've seen.
Mm.
I need to check out Joanne Hackett's grammar and see what she does. I hear that's a really good one.
Mm.
So once again, it's a pausal form.
Well, it is in pause, but that's not what influenced the kamat on the
It's
vowel.
before a guttural too. Va. It's an echo vowel.
It has kamats because it's before the tone. La is a single syllable, has a tone, and the two words are strongly connected. Tov v'ra. Yom v'layla. Day and night. Yom v'layla.
That's cool.
Yep. All right. Number 23, bring us home.
All right. Ha'am hayoshev bahar shama ki yatsa Yisrael mi Mitzrayim. The people hayoshev.
Yoshev.
This is, I don't think you would usually see this. The people who heard, or the people who are hearing, or the people.
It doesn't say hearing.
I'm sorry, who were sitting or dwelling on the mountain.
Yeah. People that dwell on the mountain.
Dwelling on, that makes more sense. The mountain heard that Yatsa Yisrael. Why is it inverted? Because we have the key here. Heard that Israel, I'm going to do this as a true perfect, had gone out from Egypt.
All right. That's not, I don't know what you mean by true perfect, but that's called a pluperfect.
That's what I meant. Pluperfect, not a true perfect. Pluperfect.
Because perfect is have plus V3, and pluperfect is had. We call it, I think in English grammar, we call it past perfect.
Yes, we do.
But in other languages, it's pluperfect. In Spanish, I think it's pluscacumperfecto. I don't know. It's been a long time. Well, that is exercise 10. Hebrew to English. That was pretty straightforward, I think. Obviously, the things you need to learn are the directional hey and a few things like the hey relative. I think the idea is that they're trying to get uses of the hey in that section. That's what it looks like. Been a long time since I've been through Weingreen's grammar, so I'm just guessing by looking at the exercises. We will go into the next session. Give Jonathan a few minutes to finish his tacos. And then we'll start English to Hebrew for our Patreon users, viewers, participants, patrons. We appreciate you guys. Sorry that I sound dead again.
You do.
This just happened. It's a totally different thing. I got a head cold. I have a thing.
A COVID tester?
No.
Oh.
Maybe I could clear up my nose a little bit. That's nice. It's a head cold. It is not COVID this time. I tested.
Mine started with a head cold. I thought it was. One of those.
Well, I tested.
One of those stupid variants. Oh, I'm glad you tested.
It didn't come out as COVID or flu. I tested for both.
Good. So no big deal. Yeah. All right, folks.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a bit or next week. Thanks so much. Am Yisrael Chai.
Bye, everyone. Am Yisrael Chai. Peace.